Hey, it's Walter Van Dusen. We are at the Nikon booth doing the Profusion Expo 2025 with Chris, and we have something exciting that's been out for a little while, but we're going to go into some of the features that people have been talking about, what you love about the camera, and it's pretty much your first true collaboration with Red.
One of the kind of most exciting things about this is we acquired Red a little under a year and a half ago, and this has already hit the market. So a lot of people were expecting it to take years before we saw some kind of true collaboration, but you're really getting this amazing kind of cinema camera that kind of takes the best of both worlds. You're taking our mount, which is incredibly versatile. You can use basically any lens on the market on the camera. You're getting amazing audio, amazing screen, and you're getting the red color science, which obviously, as we all know, that's one of the reasons why red is so well known in the industry. So when you kind of take all of that together and you put it in not only a small package, but a really affordable price point, I think that just really excited a lot of people, no matter what it is they shot, whether it was Nikon, Sony, Canon, Fuji, it didn't matter. If they were thinking about something in the kind of cinema world, this really kind of grabbed their attention.
And which lens mount does this take officially now?
So this is officially our Z mount. So it's a Nikon Z mount. We have over 40 native NIKKOR Z lenses, but with third-party adapters, then you can go and kind of make it work no matter what system you are shooting right now.
And back to audio, I heard this has 32-bit float.
It absolutely does. Not only does it have 32-bit float, but there's no need for other accessories. You can either use digital Hotshoe, which is the first camera that we've had with a digital Hotshoe, which is great. We have a mic.
In collaboration with who?
It's actually our own digital Hotshoe, and we have our own digital mic that plugs into it.
I did not know that.
There will be other collaborations. So Tascam will have one, a couple XLR adapters or ports. You can go plug your higher end mics into that you've been using for years. Go get 32-bit float audio that way. But you can also go and use the internal mics if you do choose, get 32-bit float. But if you also have a regular mic, 3.5mm mic jack, pop it in there and you get 32-bit audio flow. So it's huge, absolutely great. So there's that, and then the other huge thing is
The screen.
the screen. It's 4 inches, which you're like, oh, it's only 3.2 to 4 inches from some of the rest of our cameras. But when you go and use it, it just takes up the entire
Edge to edge.
Edge to edge.
It's almost like an OLED TV.
Honestly, it really is beautiful. It really, truly is. And I've been kind of spoiled using this for the last number of months, talking about it, going to dealers. Now going back to the kind of the smaller standard screen, you want this and everything.
And what type of media does this take?
So it has dual cards. It has the CF Express Type B, which is obviously what you want to be doing if you're going to be shooting any of the RAW codecs that we have in here. But it also has micro SD. So H.264, H.265, even ProRes 422 10-bit can be recorded to that. And then any of the, obviously any of those, but any of the NRAW, ProRes RAW, or the R3D NE.
Which is internal.
Which is all internal, yes.
So talk about battery a little bit.
So it's the same battery that we use in the Z5 series, the Z6 series, the Z8 series. So if you already are a Nikon user, your ENEL 15C battery will work fully in it. You're getting, I'll say the battery rating numbers don't really always tell the story, but you're getting at least an hour and a half. I've seen 2.5 hours, depending on obviously what you're shooting, frame rates, all that kind of goes into it, but you're getting great battery life, and you have USB-C power as well, so if you want to plug in your power bank when you're out in the field, you're good to go.
And that will keep your battery topped off, and you can technically hot swap. Correct?
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anything else? You have 3 quick release menus on top, these buttons on top. You have very clear video photo, which is easy peasy.
Yep.
What else do you like about the ergonomics?
Well, the ergonomics are so different than what we're used to with the regular Nikon. If you're a Z6 shooter, a Z8 shooter, and you pick this up, you're going to go, where's the on-off button? Where's the menu button? And obviously that's done by design, where we're going after, we're making sure that the kind of cinema user who have different expectations, having these direct function buttons that you can go and customize basically to anything you want, having a record button on the front of the camera.
Is there a tally light?
There is, yep. So you have a tally lamp up there. So it's Nikon-esque in obviously the menu, but we're obviously making a lot of small changes to make sure that this new market that we've never been in before is catered to with the ergonomics.
And who have you seen that's been really embracing this camera?
To be honest, that's such a difficult question because there's so many people. There's the people who are looking at it. Yeah, it's people who look at who were looking at like $5,000 full frame cine cameras, and they're going, wait a second, I can get a lot of what I was looking at for a little bit less than half the price. But then they're also like creators who are wanting this when they're traveling, when they're out in the field with the huge screen. You don't need a monitor anymore.
No.
Yeah, your entire setup is amazing.
There's a monitor.
Yeah, but not everybody wants to go in.
No,
and
this
have
is like over the top.
so it's a little bit of everybody.
And how is the red integration into this with the color science and such? What if people want to ask what's red about this?
You just nailed it right in the the color science. That's what it is. So we have R3D NE. So R3D in red terminology, if you have a KX, if you got a Raptor, you're talking about red code raw, right? So we have a version of that. Our NE, R3D NE is Nikon X Speed, right? So it's the processor that it's optimized for. So they've basically taken their Log3 G10 curve, they've taken the red wide color gamut, and they've been able to fully integrate it into here. Now, it is a 12-bit raw file versus a 16-bit you would get in a Komodo or Raptor, but the color science is there.
So you can match up your cameras.
Exactly. So if you're already shooting Komodo, if you're already shooting with an old Monstro, whatever it is you're working with already, and you want to go and match footage across multiple cameras, that's where this fits in beautifully.
You have some a new lens that was released roughly the same time as the ZR.
Yeah, it was right around the same time as the ZR, and it's a new 24-70 f2.8 version 2. So the nice thing about this is it's the first 24-70 2.8 that is fully internally zooming. And I say that out loud, people know there's other, no, it really is the first. And while you might go, oh, how does that actually make well, for one thing, it's more weather sealed, so there's less moving parts. People always talk about dust getting in. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore, on top of the fact that it is already fully weather sealed. It's internally zooming. We made it lighter than the previous version by about 130 grams or so. Faster autofocus. We give ridiculous numbers as to how much faster it is, but it's faster than you will ever need. 11-bladed diaphragm now, so you're going to have even better bokeh. You have every coating that you would ever want, mesomorphous, the R-Neo, you name it. I'm not going to go through
Flagship.
Yeah, flagship. Best coatings, sharper, closer focusing distance. It's one of those things where you're like, why did they need a version 2 of this? The version 1 was so good. And then you just check off all the things that it does, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll take it.
It's probably leaning towards also video and high resolution, and it's a good pairing for these two. So another good benefit is for gimbal operators.
Yes. So the fact that it's internally zooming is great, but we also, when it was designed, we made sure that as you're actually zooming, there's no shift to the center of gravity. So
How do they do that?
Magic.
Magic.
Our engineers, they're magicians.
Is there any other? They got some hot buttons too.
Yeah, so you have your function buttons, your lens function button as well. And the first time for a Nikon is you have a little D-click on or D-click
for video.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of kind of cross design here, not just for photography, but also for the same.
And it looks like it has a pretty standard 77mm front.
Yes. So we actually went from 82mm of the previous version down to 77. So we made it better quality, smaller, lighter, with internally zooming, and we were able to shrink the filter size to make it in line with our 70-200. So when you're out in the field, you don't have to carry around step-up filter. It's just one filter, you're good to go.
So can we do one thing?
All right, so what we're looking at here is Walter has the ZR with the new 24-70 f2.8. With the ZR, we do have dual base ISO, low ISO at 800. He's actually recording at 6400 at the high option right now. We did a metered white balance to the gray card. So what we're looking at right now is while he's recording at 29.97 frames per second at the R3 DNE 6K, you'll probably be able to see the graded version of what he was able to do with this. Obviously, he can go and tweak the white balance to anything he wants. We set it in camera to get as close as we could, but you're getting a look at the footage, and hopefully, because Walter's obviously using Resolve, he's familiar with that, and if anybody's used to shooting and grading their red footage, this is basically the exact same workflow, regardless of the NLE that you're shooting in. Yeah, so we have the obviously eye detection, we have subject detection, we have 9 different subject types that will automatically jump. We don't have a dog or a plane that it could jump to, but it would automatically go to those, or you can independently select the subject that you want. And right now it is set to eye detect, and it's jumping between either my eye, if I walk if I turned around, it would probably jump to the back of my head and then back to my eye here. And it's going to able to set in the auto mode that it is now. It's just looking at the entire frame, trying to find a person, trying to find somebody of a closer distance, and it's going to lock and track completely by itself in the AFF mode. You obviously have AFS and AFC modes if you do want to go and lock the focus out and take a little bit of control away from the camera, but in more of a run and gun situation where you don't really want to have to be fully manning that, you can just let the camera do a lot of it. Yeah, so we have VR obviously built into not only the body of the ZR, but a lot of our other cameras as well. This has full 5-axis stabilization, and with that you have off option, you have normal, or if you're actually using the camera in some sort of movement, I usually recommend VR Sport. VR Sport is really designed to kind of help minimize movements, but also not fight you too much. If you are more stationary on a monopod, let's say, and you're just trying to kind of keep a little bit of a wiggle out, then VR Normal would be the way to go. But anything handheld or with a little bit extra movement, VR Sport is the way to go. All right, well, I hope that you guys are as excited about the ZR as we are. At the show for the last little while, literally every second person coming up has been asking about it. So if you haven't seen one, either the body or the 24-70, head to your local Vistec store and check them both out.
So it's been Walter Van Dusen with a very comprehensive video about the new ZR and
the Z24-70 f2.8 version 2.
And we just did as good as it can possibly be set up. And now it's my job to make sure it looks good on camera. So it's been Walter Van Dusen at the VizTech 2025 in the Nikon booth. And until next time, Chris, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was fun, right?
Yeah, good.
Thank you very much for that.